What's going on, everybody? Gustav the 13th here with another video for the week of the 15th of January 2026. We have the follow-up suit for Victory Gundam here. It is the Shokew, a 600 cost raid for ground and space with ground compatibility, mostly because this thing is a funky helicopter buddy. So we have a good amount of weapons here. We also have that 3 priority, thank goodness. 3-star suit. So the rifle and the Gatling gun are both ammo based. We do have a shoulder beam gun that has a decent amount of accumulation, and for the most part the behavior, especially on the BR flight, actually changes a little bit. So a little bit more damage on the flight versions of these. The shoulder gun in particular does like a 3-round burst when in neutral mode, and then when it's in flight mode it actually does a 2-round burst instead. And so the Gatling gun, pretty nice. One thing to keep in mind for this is that if you're transitioning between the regular mode and the flight mode, is that you should probably be on something else so that you can switch back, because it will actually have a different set of ammo for that. We also have a compound multi-eye sensor, little bug eyes, you know, those little flaps on it open up, and you can spot things for yourself but not for other people, kind of similar to the metal spider and all that. You gotta use your visual receptors, don't you know? We also have something that's interesting but a little disappointing. The beam rotor shield here is part of what works with the flight, but it also works as your shield, and you do get a parry slot with it for 2200 power, shield HP of 5000. One thing to obviously keep in mind is that if the beam shield rotor actually goes down because of too much sustained damage, then you will not be able to fly until it comes back up. Now the thing that's a little bit disappointing about this, and I think this is kind of akin to the bound dock, because I don't think the bound dock, maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't think it has an impact. If it does, let me know in the comments, but this does not. Even though when you're holding it out and doing your stuff in the flight mode or whatever like that, you hold it out in front of you, it's a big spinning rotor of death. You would think there would be a hitbox from when you're charging at people, but no, actually. That being said, this is a situation where we do have a 2 melee suit. So the regular saber, and then we have a double saber. This is only for neutral mode though. And the double saber actually does have a really weird but kind of neat downswing on it. One thing to keep in mind obviously is that, as you saw here, when you're in flight you only have this one, but you do have a lot of travel and carry on that for the beam saber when you're doing like downswings and stuff in the air, so you can definitely do a lot of good pursuit with that. Moving on from the weapons for a second, let's check out the stats and skills. So for the stats, we have 19k health, ballistic beam and melee damage are 20, or resistance is 22, 24, and 20. Range strength and melee strength are 35 and 25 respectively, which is interesting considering that, again, this is a 2 melee suit that has a heavy attack. Maybe because it has a heavy attack, but I'll be honest with you, the heavy attack on this is not great. But if you want to try to get some more damage out of the downswing, then, you know, there's a decent amount of slottage here for you to actually put in some actual close range to get that melee strength up. Movement speed of 135, top speed of 220, thruster gauge of 75, and a turning speed of 72. In flight mode, the main change here for the stats is that the movement speed goes up to 140, so literally only by 5, which is a little bit unfortunate. I guess if you really wanted to, you could maybe do the mobility parts or whatever, but it's not going to do a whole lot. It's not super duper worth it. Beyond that, we have the part slots at 16, 17, and 11 for close, medium, and long. Skill-wise, then, we have Assault Booster 3, High Performance Balancer 1, High Spec Ambac 2, Maneuver Armor 3, Melee Combat Controller 1, Aerial Melee System 2, Force Injector 3, Heavy Attack 1, Emergency Evasion System 2, so 2 rolls out of that, Flight Control Program 3, Glide Structure 3, which you'll definitely feel that extra glide structure when you run out of boost and stuff in your mode. You really do just kind of feather on down. Anti-blast stabilizer and high performance radar 2, with beam rotor flight being here at the bottom. So press the touchpad, enter the flight mode. Continuous action can be performed while in mid-air. Syncs movement and melee attack to reticle direction while active for advanced combat. While in flight, thruster consumption when starting or during high speed movement is reduced, as is a reaction to damage in mid-air. Quick ascent and descent speed and high speed movement max speed are increased. Which is interesting because I think some of those aren't necessarily just straight up, as you can see here, like shifts in stats. It's just that, you know, you'll probably get the speed up while you're there. We'll take a look at it when we go back into practice as well. This can be used above ground and underwater, which the underwater is surprising, but cannot be used when shields are down. So like I said earlier, and obviously a little bit shade down because there's not as much that's relevant in the flight mode in this case. But nothing super crazy. Flight control program and all that will still kick in. Radar, yada yada. So, backing out a little bit and looking at the enhancement list. I'm trying so hard not to yawn, you guys help. Why did these stupid banner drops have to be in the middle of the night? Ugh. So anti-beam modifier +1 in range strain plus negative 3% to recovery time from thruster overheat. So cooling support system, definitely important considering the rotor thing. And complex expansion slot at the very end here for 1940. And then for the unlockables, we have +5 to anti-beam modifier and +5 to range strength. So that range strength bump will put it up to 40 flat, as well as the anti-beam, putting it up to about 29 or so. Not bad. Let's take this bad boy into practice, and we'll talk about some of the other details of the suit before moving on to an example match. If it will actually get in there. Let me in. Hurry up already. Thank you. Also, this isn't the actual colors, it's just Gold Gang. I'm running this on my friend Asian's account again, so he's just got goofy ass colors on these. One of them is actually pretty horrendous, but you know, it's fun. So one thing I want to show off right away is the heavy attack. Double stabby Aina bullshit. And obviously, as you see there, 2 for the price of 1, you can definitely steer this in a way that you can clothesline people. The other thing to keep in mind is that neutral into side swing, that side swing actually hits twice and you can like audibly hear it do so as well. It is a little bit of a shame that this doesn't really let you melee loop as much, because it is Link Combo Controller 1. That being said, the transitional period or ready at time for those, not awful. And then the downswing for this is an advancing like outward like slash with both of the I almost said scissors. Both of the swords. We do have our little propeller here. Also, look at how seamless that is, and that's not just if you have the propeller out. You know, it does a little extra animation for having it out, but it's still really fast. Also, no special charge or anything on the rifle, just a single kind of reliable shot. And you can see there, when it engages in the hang time out of the mode, you do get a lot of that glide structure going on. And as you see here, for that, 3 shots there, 2 shots per burst here. That's probably where you're going to get the bulk of your accumulation as long as you can consistently keep it on. Mostly because even though the rate of fire on this is pretty nice, you're talking about a lot of hits, especially on anything that has damage control and stuff like that. But then of course, you know, you can still, you know, get the bulk of it with that and then try to get in with other stuff. Obviously, of course, especially when you're in your flight mode, since you can't access your double sabers because your other arm isn't free, you know, try to get used to throwing in that shield to try to get some extra combo stuff going on. And then, of course, you got our little multi-sensor here. You use your visual receptors to keep an eye on people. Definitely good for framing yourself to find the support. Any suits that are particularly low on health, because it will show you their health and all that stuff. So if you're in a situation where you don't have a suit with ODL present, you can kind of help yourself with that and try to prioritize accordingly. That being said, as a raid, even though it does have a lot of range stuff to kind of throw out there, this is not a very base busty kind of suit. Nothing that you should be surprised about, to be honest, but you know, things to keep in mind. Also, be careful, because I have a really bad habit of going to the propeller and be like, oh no, don't hit me, and then swing, and then that's on accident. I'm not trying to do that. But that's kind of what I'm talking about, is that I wish that this had a different kind of melee, or that it had some sort of impact with the propeller outside of you having to swing it at people, because it's literally a big spinny blade of death. Like, how is that so far-fetched to not have some sort of extra damage going on when you're like really charging into people? But in general, that's kind of the long and short of it for this stuff. Not anything super overwhelming or crazy, but because of the dynamic kind of entry that you can do with the propeller, and especially as you can see here, like it's sipping pretty well. Like, you're not really, you know, losing it too much. Obviously you can put like ox burner or whatever on there and it'll probably be even better, but you're able to stay in the air a good amount of time, and the cooldown time for getting back into it is pretty fast as well. Like, they really are expecting you to just kind of hang off your arm like this for as much as possible. So we do have an example match as well. I'll be honest with you, as usual, Banner Drop Knight kind of atrocious. Also, before we do that, I'm gonna mention one thing. As you saw there when we came out of that mode, the buttons, fair warning, are really weird for the flight mode. Like, melee and all that are in weird spots that don't really make sense, and when you do the transition, it'll probably put you onto what it thinks you should be mapped to in relation to that. For example, you know, it switched us from, I think it was the shoulder cannon, into the beam rifle when we de-transformed earlier, so be a little bit careful when you're running out of boost, or if you're trying to, you know, get out so that you can get your boost back. You know, mind whatever weapon that you're on, because that can change. But alright, with that out of the way, let us get into our example match, which we'll put right around here. Oh boy. Banner Drop Knight players.
Alma, get to your station! Sorry I'm late, Mia.
Ugh. So far, it feels pretty good, but these matches have been pretty awful. Also, despite it constantly using boost, it does sit pretty well. We do have the burner on here for a little bit of extra help with that, but still. Oh. Something like that. What is that?
Light damage! You're fine, don't worry!
He like turned weird. Where is everybody? Oh.
Your ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit! Nice!
I got a new boost.
We've lost an allied unit!
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Hmm?
The enemy took a beacon! They're taking some big hits! Careful now! Enemy unit down! Way to go!
Yeah.
Enemy unit down! Way to go! Enemy marked! Our side captured a beacon!
I gotta use my visual receptors up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
The mobile suit has been destroyed!
Yeah, the sound effects on some of these newer, or like other newer editions have been pretty nice.
Pick where and how to redeploy. We've lost an
Slower
ally.
now. Oh, he's getting stopped. Oh my god. He's not gonna get out of there because they're all there.
We've lost an allied unit!
One of their guys went all the way back, but
Okay, let's
they're
give
going
it another
past.
go.
No, what do you mean? He actually got the rigidity time. No.
Don't worry. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Nice! We're taking some big hits. Careful now. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Nice!
Ooh, hold on.
Mobile suit isn't looking so hot.
I need more turning speed on this. Oh, get it! Eat his ass! Oh. Ah, he's like on a sliver. That's so good. Nah.
Mobile suit has been destroyed.
Newborn strap, jeez. Uh-oh. Forrest is trying to dig into his guts. 5 following close behind, but these guys are all gonna start getting wiped in a second.
Okay, let's give it another
But
go.
they're not gonna get wiped fast enough to justify us not dropping. And that sucks. What this?
Things are going our way.
I do. Oh. It's interesting that it's a 2-round burst here, but in a flight, non-flight, it's like 3.
Light damage. You're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh god.
We're taking some big hits.
Oh my god! Again with this stupid hammer.
We've lost an allied unit.
Totally forgot to start the recording on this one too. Ugh.
We've lost an allied unit.
Not that it matters because they're probably gonna beat us here. Oh my god. Especially because I don't think any of them are particularly hurt right now either.
Bases are extra valuable for this mission. The enemy took a beacon. Okay, let's give it another go. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Nice! We've lost an allied unit.
Oh my god, what the fuck? He's just under me. Ah, get out.
Enemy mobile suit. Nice! Light damage. You're fine. Don't worry. Enemy marked. 1 minute left. Let's finish this strong. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile. We've lost an allied unit.
Oh boy.
We're taking some big hits. Careful now. Enemy unit down. Way to go. Enemy unit down.
Oh god.
Still it. Your mobile suit isn't looking so hot. We've lost an allied unit.
Oh, I think he hit my shield because of the parry. So when the shield actually gets damaged, because it's actually the propeller, it'll be out for a while until it gets its recharge back.
Your mobile suit time's up.
Rude.
Mission accomplished. You and your crew did it.
Yeah, not too bad. It does make you wonder how long it's gonna take for these to settle in. But I can see it doing alright. And that was our haphazard run into Shokew. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't super pleased for most of that match just because there was a lot of hassle going on and we had like several losses beforehand. But I do have a little bit of faith in the suit. I think once people really get the hang of some of the process and maneuvering that this thing can do, that we'll be seeing more of them out here, especially when it comes to having something that can more actively pursue the Victory Gundams that are running around here already. This isn't an awful choice. Obviously, a lot of people are trying to do anti-air, just big gun emplacement kind of suits right now, and trying to just swat everything out of the sky, and it's a mixed results. But we'll have to see how that plays out later on this week. I am going to try to at least get the suit on Gus because I do have the Victory Gundam on Jenny. So next couple days I probably won't be able to run it. But once I'm able to throw down for maybe another token pack or whatever, we'll see about that. And we'll start trying to do those for our dailies so that we can really put this through its paces. But until then, that'll be it for this video. This is Goose the 13th. Let me know if you guys are spinning for this in the comments and if you like it so far or hate it. And until next time, I hope you guys have a good rest of your morning, night, or whatever. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.